Monday, the 10th of August. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Darwin, and welcome, Joe.
Hi, boys.
Hi, Pat. Hi, Darren.
Another edition of SportsView on learnmedia.tv. All the information is on, well, it's not actually on the screen tonight. I don't know why that is. Sorry about it. Anyway, it's learnmedia.tv, and we're streaming live on our YouTube channel, on our Instagram, and our Facebook, so you can comment right in here to the studio. We have the usual. Well, Rua Joe is forever etched in the opening credits of the show as well.
Yeah.
Let's get a photograph of that. We're looking at soccer, golf, rugby, and the European Athletic Championship is on this week over in Birmingham, and we'll be looking at boxing and also some equestrianism. The famous Dublin Horse Show was just gone the weekend, and it had an unusual flavour this year as well. We might get to that as well later on. The China Open is on at the moment as we speak in snooker. A young snooker player from Ireland, rising star Aaron Hill, just lost out to Karen Wilson there today, 6-5. Very good match. He had opportunities to win it, but that'll come in time. Anyway, up in Scotland in soccer, the Scottish Premiership is on at the moment. Well, as I would say, I'm not trying to be disparaging to Scottish soccer, but is there any interest in that in Scottish soccer, really?
Well, I don't suppose you'd want to say that to the Scots because they're.
Well, what I mean in
It doesn't
is
seem
that
to be like it was before.
yeah? Is it something like the League of Ireland and the Scottish Premiership seems to be in the penny halfpenny place?
Yeah, it's.
I think,
I mean,
I think it is in Scotland, isn't it? It's still they probably watch more of that or equal amounts of that as they do Premier League, I would imagine.
oh yeah,
But
I
I
think
think
in Scotland
it's
that
those.
If you were to ask 1,000 Scotsmen who's going to win the Premiership in Scotland, they're all going to say Celtic.
Well, be
yeah, I
Celtic or
suppose.
Rangers, wouldn't it?
That surely can't be good or healthy for the game in Scotland. Not taking away from Celtic, I'm just saying that cannot be good for the game.
Well, no, I mean it's
Well,
not good.
Hearts gave them a good run, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, but then Hearts lost McInnes to Rangers, and they just uh, bought two of their players as well, or took two of their players. So that's going to be
Yeah, we'll just have a look at the results. Some of the results. Kilmarnock 1, Celtic 5. Hearts 4, Dundee United nil. Motherwell nil, Falkirk nil. Rangers 1, Hibernian 2. Dundee 2, Aberdeen nil. St Mirren 1, St Johnstone nil. There's some of the results the weekend. There's only two games played, but already after two games, Rangers are 5 points behind Celtic after two games. You know?
yeah. Well, I mean, you can understand a little bit because I mean, Rangers have gone through um, a little bit of a change with the new manager coming in and some new players. So it's probably going to take a little while for them to get back. Really, you know, I think the big question is how Celtic are going to do and how they're going to maintain it over the whole season. Um,
You're right there, Joe. And once in the second sense, I mean, I'm no expert in soccer by any manner of means, but I think that for Scottish soccer to raise the bar a bit, I think it needs a team like Celtic or Rangers or whoever to have a good run in the European competitions, okay, a
but
quarter final or a semi final.
yeah, I agree with you on that. And they've not been able to do that. You know, when you look at their results in Europe, you know, I think the Rangers make it to the semi-final of the
Europa
Europa
League,
League or something like that, or
they did, yeah.
a couple of years ago. But in the Champions League, I mean, if you're going to be anything, you've got to be competitive in the Champions League.
Yeah, that's very true. And when you look at the amount of money that Celtic have invested in the club and in players, or well, I can't say in players because they haven't made progress with players. You know?
Yeah,
Here's
it's
a question. Here's a question for you both. If
Huh?
Celtic and Rangers came to play, here's a question for you. If Celtic and Rangers came down to play in the Premier League and left the Scottish football like that, would they? Where would that? In my opinion, Celtic and Rangers would be mid-table
Relegate.
at best, if fighting
They'll be
relegation.
they'll be relegated. Yeah, or near enough to.
I mean, they wouldn't challenge for the Premier League, would they? Either of the Rangers or
no,
Celtic.
no.
No, they would not. No, no.
That's got to be investment, hasn't it? And
Has to be that.
in Scottish football, Rangers and Celtic are the two biggest teams, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
But they're in the middle of the aren't they?
They have the most supporters as well. The what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, we don't want to be Mr. Bostering me,
I
but
mean,
yes, it's,
every so often you get people saying, "Oh, Celtic and Rangers should come and play in the Premier League," and
yeah.
but I don't think at best they'd be middle of the table, wouldn't they?
I I I I don't think they are strong enough to challenge 10 or 12 of those teams. By the way, we have to pass on our good wishes to Martin O'Neill, who I believe was in hospital, was he? The manager of Celtic.
oh no, I didn't hear
Yeah,
that.
in hospital, yeah. So we wish him well, speedy recovery and all of that, you know.
Well,
Now, um, well,
yeah, I agree with you, Darwin. I mean, I think, and with to Pat, I think that the way they are now, they'd be closer to the bottom of the Premier League than they would anywhere near the top of it.
yeah,
They might have, to be honest, they may even have a struggle to stay in it, just because the quality of players in the Premier League, um, uh, throughout the Premier League, you know, I think that it would be very, very difficult for them to be.
Even when you think, what's he up to now? With his
I'm
smartwatch, he's
on
going
air.
mental.
I'm on air.
If you think about it, like your clubs like Brentford are kind of holding on, aren't they? Fulham holding on, and they're doing well. But if you said when's Brentford or when's Fulham or even Tottenham, for argument's sake, when are they going to win the Premier League? You'd go, you can't see it happening, can you?
Yeah, I know you can judge. I suppose always in any sport, people are judged by where they finish the end of the season. And Mikel Arteta is the highest paid manager now in the Premiership the year coming. He's paying a whopping £18 million a year. Mikel Arteta. He's a lucky man, in my opinion. Michael Carrick is paid £5 million from Man United. That's his fee for the year. I was looking at all and the fella in Liverpool and Chelsea are not far behind Arteta. I suppose it's a huge job. It's a huge pressure job that I'm not taking from it. I mean,
I mean,
but
they earn their money, don't they? Because they sleep it and breathe it every day, don't they? 24 hours, and
Oh, it's
it's
all consuming for them.
yeah. I mean, you know more about that, Joe, than any of us do.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I mean,
It's
this
a
is
massive
this is
level.
not like my days, and a few years ago. It's now. I mean, they have to go out and practically every day they are meeting with sponsors and this or potential sponsors, and they're always being brought out. And it's they have their
yeah,
training, they have their full-time job, and then they have and then they have the next part of the job, which is that's what done Klopp in at Liverpool. He just couldn't put up with the interviews all day long. The training he loved, but then the other things where they're rolling you out for all these adverts or whatever it was, meetings and talks and what have you. I mean, it is never ending for him. It really is.
Yeah.
they're the face of the club, the managers. I
Yes,
know
they
that they're
are.
the face of the club, and it's a big business. We know that, but also know from not next week. All the championship and League One and League Two are starting next weekend, but the weekend after, I suppose they'll be faced with on average 2 games every week, every
Yeah,
single week from then until next May.
yeah.
So it is a huge job, and I can see why Klopp walked away from it.
If you think about it, if the amount of backroom staff has got bigger and bigger and bigger, hasn't it?
Oh yeah,
And they're not only managing the players who are egos out of control. Some of them, aren't they?
Yeah,
I mean, who would fancy dealing with Ronaldo on a daily basis?
well, and that's the thing with it. But to the other side of it, who'd want to deal with his agent? Because they're the worst ones. They give you
yeah.
grief all the time, and they're the ones that are going to cause you all the problems. I mean,
Well,
Yeah,
so
they're the ones
and
that unsettle the players as well, aren't they?
well, they are, and it's like what. I remember back in 1974, we were playing Liverpool in the semi-final of the FA Cup, right? And we had a players' pool, from the beginning. And all of a sudden, uh, Peter Shilton comes in and tells Jimmy Bloomfield in front of the team that he doesn't want to be in the players' pool anymore. He wants to do his own thing for the semi-final and what have you. That he thinks he'd make more money from it.
yeah,
And Jim said, "Well, Peter, that's fine." He said, "I have no problem with that." He said, "But having said that, now you are out the players' pool, so that's agreed on." But he said, "You won't be getting anything from me." He said, "Because I decide who are going to do all the interviews and who are going to get. People can request what they want, but I'll tell them no. And you have
yeah.
to get permission from me to do these things, and I won't give you permission." So So that was the beginning of it. But then afterwards, he had a guy called John Holmes, who was his agent at the time. John Holmes was a really nice guy, but you know, he knew nothing about soccer, but he knew how to promote people and how to
Make
get
money.
people, get money for people. And he did a great job for Pete and what have you. So, it causes a lot of division inside the club as well. When guys are
Well, even in our amateur game here in Ireland, where the Gaelic games where players do not get paid, but there's always one or two players in each county that is well spoken, well able to deal with the media, and able to carry themselves. So any interviews has to be done. They're always there, and their image then is used by supermarkets and different companies, and you know, there's it happens by accident or design in Ireland, but I can understand where you have a player like Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo in a team. I mean, every sponsor wants his name on the bottle, on the carton, on the
oh
thing,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Well, I was told a story, and again, how true it is, I don't know, but Pat, you probably know more about this, but that to
Uh,
do with GAA when Mick Mackey was playing.
yeah,
Mick,
in the 30s, 40s, yeah.
Mick Mackey used to play 48 weekends a year. in exhibition games and all these things, and they didn't get paid cash. Apparently, what they got in those days were they got very expensive watches
And suits,
and
clothes.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, and and so they were getting stuff back then, and they were able to sell watches, for a good amount of money and stuff like that. So
yeah.
it's been going on for the longest time. I mean, Kevin Keegan was found on the side of what's the motorway up by Manchester, the M6, Manchester to
M6 or
Liverpool.
M62, yeah.
Yeah,
62, yeah.
M62, right? And he was found passed out in his car because he was driving all over the place, um,
Oh, you're promoting.
for appearances and getting paid for it.
Yeah.
I remember when the first match ever sponsored at Dundle Park by Grimsby Town was through a real estate agent, and he got Bobby Charlton down. And Bobby Charlton, so you're looking now, this is now back in 1970s.
Yeah,
Bobby Charlton was getting over £100 per appearance, and he was retired at this stage.
yeah.
So he was still making money going out and doing the thing for it and what have you. So um, there was always that market, for those guys, but they had to do it to make the extra money. I mean, that was it. So it 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 it, it can destroy clubs, especially clubs that are not used to it.
Yeah, it has to be has to
United
be,
used to it, and Arsenal,
and
and
that's when you get a good manager.
I
right,
mean,
Then a good manager with a good head
when you
and
think
shoulders. So
about
that's
it,
when you need a good man.
I mean, Rashford's struggling to find a club, isn't it?
yeah,
And it's that what they're saying now is that he's struggling to find a club because no club can afford to pay his wages. He was on 300 grand a week,
right,
and he's not going to. But his agent isn't going to say, "No, look, go and play for Leicester for argument's sake and get 100 grand a week."
yeah.
Because
He,
the managers, the agents losing money
he
because
should go. He should
and
go.
he's
He should move to Monaco FC. They have no income tax in Monaco.
but it is fascinating. I mean, no, every sport's got it. I mean, Woods in his heyday was getting $1 million to appear in a tournament.
Yeah, just sell the tickets. Yeah,
So he was picking and choosing 12 events a year, including 4 majors. So there was 8 events out there that he was 8 million quid better off from the start every year because he wasn't going to play unless you paid me $1 million.
Right.
and they had the cheek to give out about Live Golf when it started. You know about the money.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
McIlroy's on it, Scheffler's on it. They're all earning. I mean, they're all being paid to play. If the three of us said, "Come on, let's put off. We've all won the lottery. Let's whack a couple of million each into a golf tournament." And we said, "Well, you want McIlroy to play at Adair Manor, for argument's sake? It's going to cost us probably 750,000 to
Yeah.
get him there for a week.
Adair
Expensive.
Manor, Adair Manor has been sold. McManus is sold to Chinese business people, but they won't be
Really?
taking.
I mean,
Yeah,
most of the big golf clubs now have been owned by hedge funds.
yeah.
Yeah, in your big ones, Wentworth is Chinese owned, but your big clubs, I mean those real monsters, they are being all bought out by hedge funds mostly.
Oh, that's
I
very
mean
good.
Wentworth's got the 3 courses, and you can join two, so you can join the south course and the east course, and it's your entry fee's about 100 grand to get into the club and just pay it, and then it's about 12 grand a year after that. But if you
Cheapers.
want to play the west, you want to be a member of the west course, That's £500,000 down on the table.
So in order to play golf, you just need to have money and a club.
The big ones, the big. I'm talking like your household names.
And
Anything on the open rota.
and you know, I want to ask you, Derwin, as a person like Colin Montgomery would say, or a person who's semi-retired, who have been major champions, do they get complimentary membership of certain clubs?
Yeah, they'll be honorary members of quite a few. He's an honorary member at Royal Troon because
Yeah,
his dad was the secretary and he was a junior there. And
yeah,
McElroy's an honorary member at Hollywood in
yeah. I know.
Belfast.
Yeah,
I mean, they'll all be playing golf courses somewhere that they get looked after.
yeah.
Won't get money paid, but they'll be waived. The fees will be waived and different things like that.
It's ironic that the people who can afford to pay don't have to pay, and the people like us, casual bystanders, have to pay through the nose.
Yeah, I mean, Lochern, when Lochern opened up in Belfast,
Yeah.
they paid McElroy silly money to have Lochern on his golf bag and on his shirt and jumper. And
Well,
it was just,
talking as we drifted into golf, speaking about golf, we had the Wyndham Championship just completed over the weekend, and Michael Brennan won that 22 under. I suppose it's better than 23 under. 66, 65, 63, and 64. And I never heard of Michael Brennan
no,
before.
there's loads of new kids winning out on that US tour, isn't there?
At 22 under. And the fair play to Michael, and a couple of $1 million. Over in London at the London Championship International Golf under the Ladies European Tour, Anna Huang from Canada, well, Chinese Canadian, she won it as well, coincidentally at 22 under, 67, 68, 65, and a 70. And our own Anya Dunnigan, when I say our own, up the road from Ennis, sponsored by EI Electronics here in Shannon, her first full year on the professional tour. She was in contention for a long time, but she finished at a -10. A very good performance, but she had some very good finishes during the year on the tour. Anyway, 70, I think she won about 65 or $70,000, which is a good paycheck. 70, 69, 69, and 74. But she did well. She was very nervous the last round, and she learned. We also had the live golf over in New York in Trump's course and one of these courses in New York. Forget, it's a Burmeister, sir. And Joachim, yeah, Joachim Neiman won that at -16, and um, John Ram has won the individual competition in live. There's an individual and a team competition, so he had enough points accumulated in the other competition, so he won that. Shambo finished
and
down the field.
they found another sponsor, haven't they?
Yeah, Live Golf
Oh,
has
they have found another sponsor? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Live Golf have found a sponsor for the start of 2027. One major, and they have two minors now added on as well. So I think it's good. It's good for golf. It has been very good for golf, whether people acknowledge it or not. And all the Alec-a-doos, including Ian Carter, the golf guy with whoever is with the BBC.
BBC.
He had very little to say about Saudi Arabian money in the women's game, but he had an awful lot to say with us backing Live Golf. It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing altogether. And I see this wanted the ladies international in London over the weekend, and their signage was everywhere all over the course.
Yeah.
It's the same money from the
It's
same
interesting.
company.
Aramco is massive
Yeah,
in the Gulf area,
it is.
and Liv's Trump's daughter has just married the chairman of Aramco because I've at Doral in Miami. I played quite a bit of golf with him.
Yeah.
One of the down at Doral teaches him, and I went out and played with him a few times. And he's just married into the Trump family, so the Trump family now have got their fingers into Aramco.
So he'd be go- he'd be going around in the Air Force One, will he?
Exactly. Yeah. And the interesting thing about New York as well was that the chairman of that Saudi public fund,
Yeah.
he turned up to play in the Pro Am and stuff.
Come here.
Yeah.
And
Now
and
there's rumours now they're going to put a little bit more money back into it rather than
now,
just walking away.
well, that's very good. And as you know, from as we're on golf, the Irish Open is being held in Doonbeg in Trump's um, golf course in Doonbeg here in County Clare, just outside of us. And he is coming over for the Sunday. He'll be in
Yes,
Ireland for the
there's rumour
when
that
it,
he's going to play in the Pro Am.
yeah, when he was announced that he was coming
Shambo.
when it was announced that he was coming over for the Saturday and Sunday, it sold out. You know, the it's sold out now. The Irish Open, you know, it's sold out. And but my son is one of them that's going in on all his buddies. They're thinking of buying Donald Trump masks, you know, to all around the same tournament. It's so funny, but it's a huge boost for the area. You know, the Irish Open, huge boost for this
Yeah,
area. It's part of County Clare, you know. But that
good
was the
golf course
golf,
too, dude.
huh?
Good golf course
I,
too.
yeah, I would know about that now. Is it the Links Golf Course? It is,
It's
is it?
Linksy Field, I think, is probably the
Yeah,
right way of phrasing it.
yeah, seaside, seaside. Anyway, that's the Irish Open on September the what is it, 12th or the 10th of November, 12th, whatever it is, of September. The Ladies Irish Open is on in the K Club at the end of the month if people are into going for golf there, you know. At the moment, we have snooker. We've the second tournament in China is on. Ronnie O'Sullivan beat Jackson Pate 6-2. Our own Aaron Hill was beaten there this evening by Karen Wilson 6-5. He did very well. He's a rising star. And Gilbert beat Ding Junhui 6-1. So that's the snooker in China Open. You can catch it all on ITV. They should pay me money for promoting it. And the RDS Horse Show, which is 100 year this year, the centenary in Dublin, was held over the weekend. I don't have. I had hoped to have a picture of her, the English lady. Oh, I have her. Thank you, Mary. Now there you are. She won the big competition last year in the RDS. That lady, I forget her name. I'll find it before the into the program. She came out to ride in the competition with a Mayo jersey. You know, I she got an incredible welcome in Dublin. You know, I mean, it was a fantastic touch. Whoever thought of it should be in PR or marketing. It's just she got the whole crowd on her side. You know, and she was the joint winner of the Poissons, which is the big wall. You know, she won it last year and she shared the first prize this year in it. But I thought it was a lovely touch from her, you know. And we have a
Somebody
new,
paid for it.
huh? We have
Somebody
a
paid for it.
oh, they did, yeah. We have a new world champion in boxing after Saturday night. He's Aaron McKenna from Monaghan. He won the IBF World Middleweight Championship. I saw the fight. It was I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I like boxing. I don't like knock your own. It wasn't a great fight, but he won. In my book, he won every round of the fight. You know, the opponent he had was not up to the mark, but he won the fight. He could only beat what's the frontier, as the old saying goes. That was him. Next weekend, the championship and the other thing starts across channel, And guess who's favourite to win the championship in England? Championship this year.
West Ham.
I thought I'd have said the same. It's Southampton.
Is it really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And I think a lot of that is on the thinking of last year. I mean, they're two different years, like, you know. You saw what happened Bristol City when they almost won, and in the next year they were looking to survive, you know. But I would West Ham and Burnley are West Ham and Burnley were relegated. And who else? Wolves. Wolves is it?
So,
You
yeah, I
think
think it was.
you think those three teams would be in prime position to come out, you know? But they have 46 games to play in the championship. People forget that. They only have 38 in the Premiership, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 46, and they have League Cups, FA Cups as well, you know, to play. So they have a
Yeah.
lot of games to play, you know.
They,
Grimsby are starting off at home, Joe, against Exeter City.
Right. Yeah.
Exeter, that's be a tough match. I
It
see
will.
that. Exeter are a tough team.
Yeah.
I see the rugby union in England have downgraded the ladies sevens players to part-time contracts. I was reading that today, Derwin. They're in part-time contracts, which means they have to go looking for job work to make a living. But a lot of the players are gone on part-time contracts. I don't know why, and money, I suppose. And the Ospreys and the Scarlets. The Scarlets knocked in the head a proposed amalgamation between the two of them. So that's not happening. So,
right.
you know, that's knocked in the head. I was reading that there today. And I had hoped there might be something of it. In Ireland, we had the last All Ireland in our Gaelic games yesterday. The ladies took centre stage. And Cork and Galway. Cork were beaten last year by Galway in the Camogie by 1 point. This year, Cork beat Galway in the final. You guessed it, by 1 point. I tell you, it was
I
one
don't
of
know.
the.
I don't know what's going on with the BBC, but not only did they have that history of hurling, they've now
Which,
got you know, I told you about the history of hurling on the BBC iPlayer.
yeah,
Well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the bloke in charge of BBC's suddenly turned into somebody from Dublin, but they've now got the history of Gaelic football.
oh, on the BBC iPlayer. Well, there's always been there's always been a healthy connection between Ireland and the BBC. Anyway, you know, with producers and presenters. You had probably one of the greatest radio men ever on the BBC for years, Terry Wogan.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was
But
he had
would
he had the
who
biggest
would have thought they'd have?
he had the biggest audience for a radio program in Europe at one stage. You know, his
Yeah, on
program with the
Radio 2.
BBC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was quite good. I liked him. I liked Terry Wogan. He used to be on in the 70s. I was over there in the 70s, and very good program. You know, very good program. I would say, I suppose. There's a statue of him here in Limerick, next to the Royal Church, down by the river.
He was born in Limerick, wasn't he?
He was, yeah, out in the Innis Road, out in Innis
Yeah.
Road, is it? Yeah. He was, yeah. And there is a long connection with the BBC in Ireland, you know, with people. Sure, you had the Andrews, Eamon Andrews, for years on the
Yeah.
BBC as well. I can't think of anyone else I would off the top of my head. Uh, and you have half the English soccer team are Irish, as we know.
Yeah. Dave Allen was on BBC too for a long time, wasn't he?
Who?
Dave Allen.
Dave Allen.
Oh, he was just something else, Dave Allen.
Wasn't he?
He was, yeah, Dave Allen. What's his name? Company. He
Some
died
of those
young, man.
sketches were
My two favorite comedians at that time was Dave Allen and Dick Emery.
Dick Emery. Yeah.
You know, Dick Emery, oh, you're awful, but I like you. That
Now
was
you
his
say that
tagline.
too good. You say that too well, Pat.
Yeah, that was his tagline. He was so good. There was a lot of his sketches very close to the bone. He wouldn't get away with now, except you had blue hair or green hair. Anyway, so we have to look forward to who's going to win the Premiership this year. That is this the will Arsenal retain the Premiership?
Well,
I
that's
said
going to be a very good
Chelsea.
question. I mean, they've spent a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money to
How will how will Ars- Manchester City get on without Guardiola?
well, I, to be honest, I think they're going to. I mean, they're not going to struggle, but I don't see them. I don't see them being really up there and running away with it. Just having watched Maresca, what he did at Leicester, and then what he did at Chelsea, didn't impress me that much with what they were doing, what he did there.
Yeah,
He got Leicester promoted, but by the end of it, they were
a sprint force.
yeah. It took him a little bit to get across the line in the finish, and then at Chelsea, I mean, again, you look at Chelsea and you think that's Chelsea with what they were doing at that time must have been a horrible job. I mean, they had probably 30 odd first team players in the squad
Yeah.
that he was having to juggle with.
I have a sneaking suspicion in my head. There's some say my head might be too good for Chelsea to win the championship, to win the Premiership.
That
Based alone on their squad.
yeah, that's
I
Uh,
said was it last week you asked me that question or the week before?
yeah, yeah.
I've said Chelsea from the beginning. My
Huh?
heart says Man United. My heart says Man United, but my brain thinks Chelsea might be a bit sneaky.
I don't think United will win it.
Will any club come out of the pack, so they say? Or Keith Andrews and Brentford. Keith gets a 2.57 million euro a year as manager.
Yeah, they're going to be interesting this year. I think
Yeah,
Brentford.
yeah, yeah. I
I
think
think it's going
so.
to be interesting to see what happens with them.
Yeah, it is.
It
It's a solid club.
it is a solid club, and they're a well-run club. But again, I saw did they sell that centre forward that scored all the goals from this year? They took over from
Took
what was his
over
name?
from
Well, the one that
what was
when Tony left to go to wherever he went, Saudi Arabia or wherever. Who was the guy that they brought? It was a French guy, wasn't he, that they brought in?
Oh, in Brentford,
Yeah,
I can see him. I can
he
see him
was the
at
leading
times.
goal scorer, so he did a
yeah.
good job. But I mean, you're a year down the road now, and with Wissa gone and all those guys gone, it's going to be really interesting to see how it's going to work out this time around.
How many? Here's a question then, boys. How many of the ones who've come up from Championship are going to stay up?
Well, I think one team I like this year in the Premiership is Leeds United.
Yeah,
I think there's a possibility of them breaking into the top six, five. You know, I think there is. You know,
So so now I'm trying to think of the other ones that came up. Who won
who
the who won the playoff? Did
Coventry,
Ipswich come up, didn't they?
Coventry City are champions.
Coventry were
Coventry,
champions. Ipswich were second.
yeah.
And then who won the playoff? Hull. Was it Hull?
Hull City,
Hull. Wasn't it Hull?
That's
yeah.
that to me is going to be a real tough one there.
Well, Coventry and Hull, and who else do we say?
I think Ipswich won that. Didn't Ipswich
Ipswich.
finish second?
Yeah, and how will Liverpool do this year?
I think Liverpool will be fine. I think they'll
Coventry,
be
Hull, and Ipswich.
yeah.
Huh?
Coventry, Hull, and
Coventry,
Ipswich.
Hull,
Yeah.
and Ipswich.
Yeah. You know who I think is going to struggle? Newcastle.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, they've lost. They've lost 4 or 5 of their team. You
Yeah.
know, I think that. I think that Eddie Howe will be manager of England before the end of the year, will he?
I don't know. I mean,
Nah,
I haven't
yeah,
been reading the English papers that much. I mean, is Tuchel still getting pressure over there?
yeah, he's still getting grief, but he'll be there for the Euros to get him into the Euros. I
Yeah.
think he'll be gone after the Euros, unless they win it.
Yeah.
I know he won't be coming home, will he? You won't be saying
I,
that again.
I, I, I can't cope with any of that anymore. I'm scarred.
You're scarred for life. I know it's.
I mean, every week now there's more conspiracy theories coming out about World Cup. And
Well,
as for
I
how that man is in a job is beyond me.
who?
Fantino.
Oh, I mean, the guy should be gone. I mean, how he's even surviving is beyond me. And again, it's all the underhand stuff. All his support is coming from South America and Africa,
In fact,
where he's
I,
green so many palms over there.
you could contrast it. There's an organization we all know
Yeah,
where you have a made guy, and Infantino to me was the made guy by septic platter. That's
yeah.
where the rot. That's where the rot set in. You know,
But
I'm not comparing him with anybody else, but just that phraseology, I think, is enough for
did
people.
you see the one that has just come out that Infantino supposedly had a lover that worked at FIFA,
Yeah,
and they paid her 175 grand to move on.
yes, and got her a job.
Yeah, and then paid for her college education to.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, of course you would not do that except there was no smoke without fire, as they say.
Well, and that's the thing with it, there isn't. And to be honest, what a lucky break that was when he really dropped the ball on that one when it came out that they were involved with Kushner.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you know that Trump was involved in that somewhere along the line.
the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, with the
Oh, well, anybody who's in business like he was, you know, make a book or something, would be always looking for opportunities. I'm not saying this right or wrong. I'm saying business people like that will always look at the money side of it and to hell with everything else. And I'm not saying every
Yeah.
business person is like that, but that's the way they
Like
operate.
the guy, there's a Danish guy, Larson, is putting himself up to replace Fantino.
You see?
Um, yeah, and he when you listen to him on the radio, he makes so much sense. He was involved with FIFA, and then when the Sepp Blatter and what's his name, the French bloke,
Oh,
Platini,
Platini.
yeah, when
Patini,
all that,
Patini, yeah, his
he
child.
did,
Yeah,
he resigned and distanced himself. Like, I do not want to be part of this because I'm going to get tarred
yeah,
with the same brush. And he walked away.
yeah,
But he's come
yeah,
out with a fantastic concept that every 4 years, which is the FIFA cycle for the World Cup, obviously,
yeah,
is a different federation. So that could be the English FA, that could be the Welsh FA, it could be the American FA, it could be whatever. They actually select someone to be president of FIFA. So every foundation or whatever you federation, sorry, will choose someone. So
like
if it
like
was
UEFA, like
so if it was the
UEFA.
Irish, if it was the Irish FA, they would nominate someone, and everybody else would vote for it. But whoever comes out of the pack would have to be like it's this year, this cycle. It's the Irish FA, it's the Welsh FA,
Did
and
did
that
uh,
way,
did did FIFA ever have a female running it?
don't think so.
No.
Um, but what he's saying is that then that stops the dictatorship angle because you're only in that position for 4 years, and
True.
it then moves on to the next cycle.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand what you're saying about that, but that to me seems very clumsy and hard to make work because we have 200 odd nations in FIFA.
Yeah.
What, but the idea and the concept is pretty sound in my mind. If you went UEFA 1 4 year cycle and then CONCACAF and then the other
Yeah, South
federation
America,
around
yeah,
and they just it cycled round to do it that way, I think would make sense, and it would be it would be more. I think it'd be what's the best word to use for it?
well, he thinks it's just more
Yes,
democratic,
it is more democratic instead of electing a guy,
a
and
dictatorship.
a person can only have it once
Yeah, yeah,
from each
Now,
yeah.
from
That,
each
now,
federation.
yeah,
Infantino. People must remember Infantino wasn't elected the first time FIFA. He took over. He was elected once. He's going to be elect. The next election is next March in FIFA, and
but they're also talking all the federations that have put letters in saying that we're out, we're not supporting any of this. They're now talking about like UEFA, like you just said about the African federations and the South American. They're all talking now about doing a breakaway and having a different World Cup
well,
Yeah,
because they
it would be a pity if it broke up like that. It would be like because when
they
all is said and done,
they.
despite all its faults, there's nothing like the World Cup for exciting the world soccer. You know.
But
yeah,
I think there is, they're talking about, yes, it was lovely seeing, Cape Verde there and, that other Caribbean island there and what
yeah.
have you. What they're saying at 48 teams is too many.
Yes,
I
I
I
agree.
And
I think it is. I think you had whilst you had very little 5-0, 7-0, and 8-0 and 9-0, you still had a huge imbalance in teams at the World Cup. You
yeah,
know, you knew the result of the matches before some of them ever kicked off. You know, there was an
and
inevitability
what
about
this
them. You know.
what this Danish lad is saying is that he he said it like 20 odd years ago, he suggested a formula that would actually be like a little bit on a relegation and promotion type thing. So it was like a group format, but like Cape Verde could qualify and be promoted up into that level that would probably get to the World Cup.
All right.
Rather than like, yes, it's wide open now, and 48 teams are going to be at the World Cup.
Well, the chance, I mean, I live here in Ireland. Chance of the Republic of Ireland ever qualifying for the World Cup is pretty slim. The way it's structured, very, very slim.
Yeah, but like this last guy's saying is that you've got like that oceanic group where your Cape Verdes and your Caribbean islands are playing. Like the big team there is Australia.
Yeah, they're no good.
And Australia's not really a big team, is it?
No, it's not had the races or New Zealand. Those teams are no good.
And what he's saying is that if that was in a group where they went up into another level, that they qualified for that part, and they then start playing against, they play against Japan, they play against Thailand, or bigger federations.
Well, I think those teams. I think Japan is a better soccer team than Ireland. They're a wonderful soccer team.
No, but what he's getting at is that oceanic group is really a group of weak teams.
Yeah.
And they're one of them's gonna, 2 or 3 of them are gonna get there.
That oceanic group was created by Sepp Blatter to get votes and support. It wasn't based on. It wasn't based on soccer.
It was brilliant with Cape Verde, wasn't it? But they're not going to repeat that, are they? That was a one-off, and that will never happen again, will it?
It's unlikely. It's unlikely.
If you looked at the Europe group, as in the qualifying for Europe, is really hard because
you were
big Europe,
you were in Italy wasn't there at the World Cup. They didn't qualify.
Yeah.
No, but what he's trying to say is that you've got like the likes of Cape Verde getting in, yet Italy can't get in. And yet, I know we get that they get there on merit and they qualify and they win games to get there. But if you looked at how far would Cape Verde get if they were mixed up into the European side?
They wouldn't be there. They'd be last in their group.
Right. Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying there, and I think what Pat said earlier is right as well, that the oceanic group was, but didn't Australia used to have to play somebody else to get
Japan? There's to play that.
Yeah, there was like a playoff for them,
and then they were kicked out. Yeah. They were kicked out of that.
The Asian group. The
Asian group. They were kicked. Yeah. Australia was kicked out of that. So then they had to go and find somebody else. So that's where they ended up going over and playing wherever they had to do that. But what you're saying, Darwin, is right. I mean, there's two sides to the story, because the European nations have been so dominant in the World Cup for so many years. So many of them have qualified that the rest of FIFA is trying to get away from that.
Yeah.
To get more equity around the world. But is it equity or is it quality that you want for your tournament?
I think
a World Cup should be quality.
They should have first. Yeah.
I think if you had, if England got drawn in if it was like a world grouping, and England got drawn against Cape Verde, Fiji,
right,
Bunga
Trinidad and Tobago, those guys.
Yeah.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Fair on them either, because you'd expect England to win that, wouldn't you?
You would, and they would.
And yet, what he's saying is that yes, it's fantastic that Cape Verde are there and Australia are there and all these, and that Carriacou, was it, or something like that?
Curacao, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that team. Curacao, was it?
Curacao, yeah.
I didn't even know that was a country.
Yeah.
to the slaughter yet. You're saying about Wales, Ireland, Italy, they're getting drawn against teams that they've got to play unbelievably well over the whole of the group, haven't they?
I mean, the Republic of Ireland could be in a group with Germany and Italy. They have no chance of
Yes.
qualifying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
they have
I
no
mean,
chance of qualifying.
you imagine getting in the group where you've got Ireland in a match in a group with England, France, Germany, and Italy.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to sit there and go, right, who's the two weak links in that five ball? Well,
England
you're going
and
to say
France.
Ireland. But what he's saying is that surely it should be much more structured. That like tier one teams shouldn't be playing against tier four teams. Yet tier four teams should be qualifying because they're playing against.
Yeah, but what he's trying to do is, what he's trying to say is the tier 4 team cannot play a tier 1 team until they reach the World Cup final. In another way, in another sense, which is no good. That's no good for anybody. Yeah,
but
that's no
you
good.
can. I kind of get what he's saying, because who did Germany smash? I mean, was it like 7-1 or 8-1 or something?
Yeah, that was that Curacao that they beat?
Curacao, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a bad Germany team as well. That wasn't a good. It's not a good German team, is it?
No, they weren't good, But I don't know what the answer is, except Ireland should apply to go into the Oceania group.
But I think he's saying. Go on.
So, can you to go further to what Infantino was trying to do, and his idea of making the World Cup every 2 years, as well every 4 years?
Yeah.
Do you imagine what that would do to the World Cup?
So destroy it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got players who, let's face it, some of these players are picking up injuries because they are playing a lot of matches.
Sure, it takes nearly 2 years to organise the World Cup,
Yeah.
I mean, you'll just finish the World Cup this year, and in 2 years' time there'll be another World Cup. Really, it's a nightmare.
I don't ever see the other associations going for it, because they all have their own. They all have their own
competition.
We have the European Championships. South America has their South American Championship.
Yeah, and
so they're never going to allow that to happen.
You have the African Nations Cup,
right? Yeah,
which is
that's the thing with it. You look at this. I mean, that Club World Cup.
But they should be looking at some things more than making money. I mean, in all fairness to the whole African Nations Cup, it has not raised standards of soccer in the continent, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think if you were going to say what's raised African football, you're probably going to say Premier League. You're going to say the French League.
Serie A, and the German Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where most of the Africans are playing, aren't they?
And in the Far East, yeah.
I mean, there isn't there is. I know there is a league in Africa, but there isn't a league in Africa, are they? I mean, all the good players are cherry picked straight out to come and play in Europe, aren't they?
Morocco were the strongest of their teams in the World Cup, and they weren't great.
I don't know if you saw any of the clips of Fantino in Morocco. I mean, it was like you just wanted to throw up. I mean, he was being treated like the Pope just arrived.
Oh yeah, and that's the problem that you've got with some of the countries that he is. So here's the next part of it, and it's, of course, we've taken advantage of it. So, but there was something like over 200 players that played in the last World Cup that did not play for the country they were born in.
Yeah, yeah. I
Well, the
mean,
most
you
of
look
that
at the
French aren't
look at the
French.
French that French team. They could play with Algeria.
Yeah. Well, there was a guy that played for Morocco that could have played for three different countries because of his
Yeah,
where he was born,
Yeah,
where his father was born, and where his mother was born.
but he
I
was
so
that the one I'm talking about was the captain of the French under 21s.
Under 21 team. Yeah. Yeah.
He was captain of the French under 21s.
so Declan
Yeah.
So
Rice,
again, you kind of go,
Declan Rice played for the Republic of Ireland.
yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know who he
Oh,
is.
yeah.
you know,
Yeah. No, I mean,
I could play
it's,
golf for England, Wales, or Ireland. I think
Yeah, and so you
again,
had that.
I
I
could
think
pick any.
the last World Cup that you had people playing in their own countries was in 1974. I think as far back as that. After that, it became a free for all. I think
I mean, that
The Bosman ruling in the European Union finished soccer on a national level, on
I
a
think
border level.
I think it's I think I think it's hard to try and work it all out, isn't it? Because that French team, I think something like 7 or 8 of the outfield players
yeah. Yeah.
are all born in Africa, and they're part of that French colonies, the French Empire, whatever you want to call it.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think England should be playing the Falkland Islands in the next World Cup. They should put in a team from the Falkland Islands.
No, but I mean, you know what happens? Like even now, like you get San Marino, you get the Faroe Islands,
Yeah,
and they're just whipping boys, aren't they?
yeah, that's all they are.
I mean,
Although
I could get.
The Faroe Islands have fared well in the last two European Championships in the group
I know,
stages,
but
Yeah.
if you want to try and see if you can find anything on his name's Larson, this Danish bloke. See if you can find it on the internet because what
we
he's
will
talking
have
about makes sense.
we will have it for next Monday, and where are we? We'll have it for next Monday, and before we go, next weekend you'll have for all those who have long faces over the weekend, they had no soccer on. It'll be starting up again next weekend, and you'll have all the usual suspects on the TVs.
Of
And
course.
apologizing for the cursing on TV and for saying a wrong word and for saying whatever, I don't know.
The chants from the crowd.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. 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 How many people's dreams are going to be crushed
yeah.
after the first game of the season?
So our Premiership champions are, in my case, Chelsea.
I'm going to go Chelsea.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go Arsenal again. I don't see
Oh,
it with what they've brought in and what have you. I mean, the guys they brought in are proven players.
they're good players.
Yeah, they are, and you know
So
their
yeah,
weak point, the weak. No, I don't mean weak players, but
yeah.
players that were not going to be the ones that were the ones capable of getting you.
Okay, we have Chelsea, and Arsenal, and
I
the
mean,
team
you
to
just look at Gabriel Jesus
yeah,
and Martinelli,
yeah,
two of them leaving. The two of them really, I'm hard pushed to think what they did for Arsenal during this season.
yeah.
I mean, on a regular basis.
I
And
also
of course,
think Chelsea's
Saka
got a
was
bit of
gone.
advantage. I think
Well,
there's some of those.
on our
They've
little
got an
show,
advantage.
We have Chelsea, and Arsenal, and the team that will struggle that's in the top five this year will be Liverpool.
Yeah, well, and Everton. I'll tell you better keep an eye on Everton.
Are they
There's
going
going
to
to
go
be some.
down?
No,
I think the first 8 weeks will be really interesting because some of those players won't have had much of a rest. since the World Cup.
Yeah.
Those teams, well,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
Arsenal had a load of ways of playing in the World Cup.
You had it there first, and you
I
can
can't say
throw
Man
it.
United. I mean, Mainu was on holiday, I think, when he in the World Cup. He was because he never really came on, did he?
I don't know why he took him.
But I
yeah.
think Chelsea didn't have that many players go to the World Cup, did they?
Why would you have a player in your squad at the World Cup and not give him 5 minutes on the field? It's beyond me. Not because he was being it, but it's just beyond my way of thinking. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't get the Ivan.
But
I don't get the Ivan.
to your point there, though, Darwin, you know, I wouldn't be too concerned about the first 8 weeks of the season for players that have played in the World Cup. I'd be thinking more of the last 8 weeks of it, because that's when the tired legs are going to kick in, and it's really, you know, you've gone through a summer of football, and now you've gone through a whole season, and for these guys, most of these guys are going to be playing 2 games a week, like Pat pointed out earlier, you know. So
yeah,
by the time they get to the end of the
I
season, injuries and all those things are going to play a huge part in this.
and next
I
Monday
think
I came across two more gems of Brian Clough stories for our listening pleasure. So
it'd be
Next
interesting
Monday,
with Declan Rice, Joe, because he
Yes, it
was
will.
clearly playing with he was playing with an injury all the way through the World Cup, wasn't
Yes, he was. Yeah.
he?
And
And as much as they can go, he had an upset stomach. But
what are they? What's the plan for them? Because Declan Rice was a defensive midfield player for Arsenal, and Gumarish does the same job practically. He had the most
yeah,
fouls in the Premier League last year for a midfield player. So it's I don't know what they're going to do with it. I mean, I saw that they might be selling Zubamendi to Real Madrid.
yeah.
So that's going to be really interesting with their midfield.
another interesting, I think, player to watch this year, if we get away from the Premiership, is Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
He's all in the club. His stock has risen as a
Yes, it
result
has.
of the World Cup. So you know,
Interesting to see how he gets on with Mourinho.
yeah. Mourinho doesn't like stars to be bigger than him.
Right.
You know. Anyway,
That'd be a clash.
um, that'll be worth watching. So from Derwin and Joe and myself, till next Monday night, we'll have a few Brian Clough stories next Monday night again. Part one and part two. So you have to close your ears. There's a bit of language in it, but and you don't find them all in the English dictionary and in the words. But anyway, from Joe and myself and Derwin, enjoy your sport during the week. And the World Athletics, the European Athletics Championships are on for your entertainment, you know. Anyway, and I'll have my smartwatch sorted out for next week as well.
Are you going to give us a tutorial on how to work
I
it?
will, yeah. I'll go down to the Chinese restaurant there in a minute because it's sorted out. So we'll see you next Monday, lads. Have a good week.